Let me adjust you there. I just have like this cheap little desktop, tripod. So sorry I moved you guys, but I am just mainly here because I just was introduced to Buuny's channel lately, which I'll link her channel down below. And she does makeup looks, which I thought was, awesome. That's what I, look for on YouTube. But then she also talks about paranormal stuff, and I'm very interested in paranormal. Scared at some point too, but I'm very interested in it. And it was really nice meeting someone that was like, not that all gurus aren't, but like someone that's really down to earth on YouTube, not trying to be girly, not trying to overdo the YouTube, and like, can sit there talking about the fashion and whatnot, and then being like, I saw a ghost. It's kind of awesome. And she wanted me to share, so this is for you, Buuny. She wanted me to share my 3 encounters I told her that I had. The first one isn't anything really major. My old house we used to live in, had the top 2 floors, and the bottom floor we had a neighbor. And it's me, don't mind the Band-Aids either. It's me, and I have 2 sisters and a brother, and my mom. This is my mom's house, and so there's 5 of us. And if this is the steps coming down from the upstairs, you'd have a level here, a set of steps going up to the next floor. And in that hallway, on the steps in the bottom hallway where we stood, we'd be sleeping in our bed or on the couch or something, and you always felt this, like, person watching you while you slept. And it was like intensely watching you. Like everyone in the family felt it, but it was never like, I'm gonna harm you. It was kind of like the protector of the family. It never hurt us. It didn't feel like mean. It just felt like something was watching you. It just was weird because you're trying to sleep and you feel this intense watching. And we just believe it was someone from the past, either from the family or in that house, that was a very good, spirit that was watching over us, because my mother had a boyfriend, not a not so nice boyfriend, that stayed there, and slept over or something. One night, and I guess like the next day or something, he felt not a hand, but like the pressure of a hand on his shoulder, and he told my mom about it. And he was not a very good man, and we think that was like a warning from this spirit person, whatnot, in the hallway, like telling him like basically, I'm watching you. So that was the first experience, which was kind of minor. The second one was on this one street. It's my dad's house, and then my neighbor's house, and my neighbor ended up being my godfather, and he had 2 younger kids. They're like 4 years younger than me. And again, we would have, let me think, I'll use this and this. Actually, bad example. Let's do it like this. There we go. So you guys can see. Yeah, it'd be like this. You'd have this being the stairway. Let me think. If you guys are looking, I don't know. To me, this was the stairway. There's going to be a hallway here, and then a big room. That's where this is. Okay? That's where this was. Okay? So for you guys, I'm just going to put it over here so you can kind of get a picture. If I'm looking straight ahead, the stairway would be this way to me. So I don't know how you guys can imagine that, but we'll do it like this so you guys can kind of see. Okay, so there wasn't a really big distance. This is a whole nother room here, so there really isn't a lot of distance in this room. And I was with my the 2 kids in a little tent up in the room, and they had a story from their dad, my godfather, saying that at nighttime you'd hear the whistle of a train, and it was my grandmother that used to live in that house going to work. And the way the house was this used to be my dad's mother's house, which his great uncles took over, which he took over, and then my grandfather's house. I mean his grandmother's house. So my great grandmother's house, and then my dad moved in, and my godfather moved in. And so the story was that my grandma was taking the train to work. Well, the train from the river where I was in Pennsylvania, it echoed through the valley, and so they believed the story, and I was like, this is a nice little story for them, scary story for them to sleep and whatnot. And they were telling me that at nighttime that the grandmother would tuck the kids in, and the kids were like, oh, that's so great. I'm like, okay, it's like the Easter Bunny, your parents go around, lay the eggs. So I'm thinking that they went in at night and like they tucked the kids in and made the story more believable and real. But I stayed there one night, and I'm up here in the little tent, and I hear the tent open. I feel myself getting tucked in, and then I hear the tent close. And I stayed asleep the whole time, pretending that I was tucked in. Like I was asleep, so that I could feel them tucking in. And I opened my eyes, and I went to see, one of them, sneaking past or whatnot. And I kid you not, I saw this silhouette, side profile silhouette, round face. My great-grandmother was kind of bigger, so she had a bigger chest. You see the chest, the belly, and the little bun on top of her head. And the two parents, that my godfather and the lady he was dating at the time, were both like stick figures. They're both really skinny like me, so this was not their body shape. And it was the same body shape of the picture of my grandmother that my dad had in his house. It had the same outline of her. And I was like, okay, that's weird. So I instantly, before the shadow even could move from the tent, I instantly jumped out of the tent. I jumped out of the tent, went a short distance to the end of the steps to look down, because I figured one of them came up, tucked us in. I saw the shadow because I was sleepy, and I expected to see them walking down the steps, right? So I get to the top of the steps to look down and be like, oh God, you guys scared me. And there was no one there. And they have they had a bull mastiff and a pit bull. Not like small dogs, two huge dogs, dead asleep. They didn't wake up until I made a sound at the top of the steps. There wasn't anyone making a sound downstairs. I didn't see anyone past the corner. I didn't see the door close or hear the door close to their bedroom that was at the base of the steps. I can't explain it. I got tucked in. I heard the zipper and everything. I saw the shadow, top of the steps. I ran to the top of the steps to see if they went back into the bedroom or something. No one was up. I was the only one awake in the house. So that was the second experience. The third major experience was me and my friend. She experienced it with me. And this wasn't so much, I told Bunny it was at nighttime, but it started at nighttime, but it went into the early morning, into a decent time in the morning. Our other roommate, Ernie, he had a girl over, and she looked exactly like my ex's girlfriend that he started dating after me, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that, and she just had an attitude. I just didn't like her. As a person, not just because she looked like my ex's new girl, just because of the personality and everything. I didn't like her. But whatever, I ignored her. She stayed the night with Ernie in the bedroom. And in the middle of the night, again, I'm going to use my Neutrogena. Our bedroom was here. Then it was our friend's bedroom. He had a corner. Bathroom was in here, and the other bedroom was right up here. We heard 3 loud boom, 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 huge footsteps out of our door in front of the other door, and they ended at the door where that girl was staying. And we're like, okay, somebody doesn't like her, and it freaked me and this other girl out, my friend Katie. And we're like, oh my God, what is that? We thought nothing happened in this house until she came. And I heard it outside my door. It wasn't above us or below us. It was outside my door. 1 step, 2, 3. And then I forget exactly how it happened, but me and Katie started talking, and we felt this chill in the room. We felt this presence, and she felt, it's really weird, like, I felt something sit on my arm. Like, I had this just chilling, cold sensation on my arm. She had this sensation by her head and on her feet. And we, through question and answering, we determined it was the dad, a mom, and a child. And they didn't like this girl. And every time I'd answer a question that was kind of like supposed to be a yes or a positive response, the weight on my shoulder and this whole arm got lighter. I could move it, just like nothing. But when I mentioned, like, oh, you don't like this girl, do you? I felt like a weight was on my arm. And I was like sludging, like I was pulling my arm through sludge or something. It just would not lift up lightly. And we just sat there and asked questions and got all these different responses. I can't even remember the questions or the responses, but it was just crazy because, like, it was working, like, I could feel the pressure change, My friend Katie could feel the difference in the, the person behind her and on her feet. And we just had this question answering session, and they just did not like this girl. And then eventually the girl woke up and left the house and everything. And later we felt like that the room started to ease up, and we had that like after tingle of like experience, another person, another paranormal person. And we're like, okay, it's done, whatnot. We really don't like this girl, and we want to tell her roommate we don't want her back, and whatever. And then like 10 minutes after, we still have the after chill and everything. Like 10 minutes after, our roommate calls back, Ernie. He's like, hey, I kind of want her to stay back tonight. My friend's like, what, you want her back tonight? The room instantly got cold, and we felt the presence by our body parts again, the head, the feet, and the arms. And then after we finished that phone conversation, so we don't want her here and whatnot, all of it lifted off, off of us and everything. So that was kind of cool because we didn't see anything, but we felt the presence, and the weight of the feeling on my arm changed, drastically through each question. I don't think that's like coincidence. So yeah, those are my 3 main big experiences. Another small one, my great uncle, who, if I talk about him too much, I can still cry. I lost him in 2005. My first week of college, my mother just had surgery, and then I had to go through his funeral. I had to go to his wake, and then his funeral, and then that week I got fired from work. So it was like the week from hell. But he passed away my first week of college in 2005, and you couldn't meet a more proud, intelligent, good-spirited man. Like, he was just a genuinely good person. I miss him to this day. I mean, I love him. He's one of the best great uncles you could have. I have 3 of them alive that I knew. And all 3 of them are amazing, intelligent men from, past military experiences, traveled the world, very intelligent men. And I think the earth should feel sad because they lost probably one of the few great minds that are around nowadays, because personalities have changed, and it's hard to find people that are after knowledge as much as these guys were. He built his own airplane with his brothers, which was really cool. Because he was into planes. But anyways, I'm sidetracking. He was just a really great man, and he meant a lot to me. And one of the mementos I kept from him, he always wore those hats where it's like it's not big, but it's like bigger at the top, and it comes to like a duck. I think it's a duckbill hat, maybe. I don't know. It comes to the forward here, like golfers wear them. They go flat here, and you can see like the cinching here, and it flattens out. He always wore this one. He had this black corduroy one he always wore, and I wanted to keep it. My dad let me keep it, and I'd wear it and stuff. And we had, like, say the top of this video here is the ceiling. And we had a fan that maybe came like say down to here. I had a dresser here with a bunch of like a stereo and speakers that came above the fan. They were above the fan. There wasn't any airflow up here or anything when the fan was on. and so it was really high, and I was on a bunk bed that was slightly higher. I mean, this is a little off, but let's just say that it was probably like here, the fan's like here, and the bunk bed was actually taller than both. It was pretty high. But this was up, his hat, I set on top of these speakers, up out of the way, off the floor, because we have a cat, and in the morning I didn't want anyone stepping on it and whatnot. And it was me and my sister sleeping, and I had that hat up top, and I think the fan was on. I can't be sure, but even if it was, the hat wouldn't have been blown by it, and also the fan wouldn't have created enough force to blow the hat from the top of the stereo down to the floor. But the next morning, I found it just sitting in the middle of the floor, and I just knew, like, he did it. Like, it wasn't to scare me or anything. It just kind of let me know, like, he's there. You know, he misses me, loves me. You know, I was just like a sign from him. So that meant a lot to me. But yeah, those were my experiences that Buuny wanted to know about. And again, you guys should check her out. She has really good, a really awesome contest going on right now. I'm not nearly that good in makeup to even try to attempt it, but anyone that's really good with makeup should definitely check her contest out. It's worth it. And then she has good fashion videos. She likes to sew and create her own things. She's a fashion designer, and she does paranormal stuff as well, and she has very interesting paranormal stories, so definitely check her out. Again, I'll leave the link below, and I'll be linking this video on her page, so or to one of her videos. So yeah, definitely check it out. And I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Just subscribe if you haven't, and if you really like my channel, leave comments down below of things you want to see. I do have some ideas that I will tell you in my next video of things that I'm going to come up with. And then I'm actually going to film a video right now where I'm going to show you the ugliest form of me, which is no makeup on. And not because there's no makeup on, but you always look worse after you take your makeup off than even before you put makeup on. I don't know, but I'm going to do a video about that and how to deal with certain things. You'll have to watch the video, but yeah, just keep a lookout for that, and definitely check out her channel. I can't tell you enough how awesome her channel is, and I will talk to y'all later. Can't wait to hear from y'all, and bye.